Oh, another beach walk. Second one today. It's a sunny day today. It's warm. It's been beautiful. But because this isn't a power walk, thought we might chat. I'm going to go over to Red Ochre Beach today. Have a look down at Cullen Park. Again, this is why bloody StreamYard sucks. I can't zoom in. It looks a million miles away, guys, doesn't it? Hope everyone's well. Weird time for me to go live too. I'm not sure if anyone's going to even join me because it's a weird time for me to go live. I think I've gone live at this time before without many people being around. Oh, there's 3 people. Peggy T, Ruth Walton and Tanny, hello. Yeah, we're walking and talking. I've put political correctness in the title, but there's a few things that I'd like to discuss. But I'd also like you guys, if there's anything you want to talk about, to, get stuff off your chest. It is pretty windy, which is one of the reasons I'm going around to Red Ochre. It's usually a bit more sheltered than this side, because this side we're, the horizon over there, that's the ocean. So we get a lot of crazy blasting weather, whereas round the corner, Red Ochre is a cove, and there's a couple of islands that act as windbreaks, I guess. It's an inlet. It's in an inlet. Well, it's not in an inlet. It's in a bay, so it's not as feral. Picky T, I wish I was on the beach right now. Well, we'll be on the beach soon. You can. I love this shack here. Check it out. Hey, puppy. It's such a simple little setup. Like when they're not here, they lock it all up. It all closes up. It's just like a container, really. But when they're here, they open it all out, and they've got like a little deck that goes out the front, and they've got a little enclosed sort of area at the back with a barbecue and simple living. It's a shack. I said to them once, would you ever move here and live here permanently? And they said, yeah, once the kids are older, we will. I mean, their kids aren't little, but their kids are still at sort of like in senior school, so hard rubbish again, groovers. Anyone need a mattress, a chest of drawers, well, bedside table drawers, or a blue and white stripe, a black and blue top. Sorry, not blue and white. We'll be on the beach soon, Pricky T. You can kick your shoes off and feel like you're walking in the sand. The reason I put political correctness in my title is because of something that's happened to me in the last 24 hours, which I think is just ridiculous. And I think that political correctness has gone too far. People that are insanely politically correct find offence in just about anything now. And then they debate you based on their belief on how offensive it is, as opposed to discussing what your intention was, namely, in this instance, a joke, and moving on. And it's actually really manipulative. And my connection with that is I see a lot of YouTube creators who are manipulative as well. Are you unconscious, Pecky T? I didn't know that. You might have mentioned it in my chat, but I didn't see that. It is pretty and peaceful. Tasmania, the entire island, I mean, even Hobart, which it's so funny having lived down here for 6 years. Now when I go into Hobart, I'm like, oh, God, this is too busy and noisy. But it's only got like 250,000 people in it. Like, it's a little city. But that doesn't mean we don't have peak hour. We do now. This city grew faster than the roads were expanded. They're onto it, but Look at these puppies. And there's the reason there's a teddy bear on that gate is when we're all self-isolating. I think the idea started in Melbourne, but people put teddy bears and soft toys on their fences and gates so that parents who were getting cabin fever, being stuck at home with their kids all day, they could at least bundle their kids into the car and go on like a teddy bear hunt. Oh, shit. Shit, Pookie T. Ouch. 72 tea and sunshine. Hello. Oh, that sucks. And you're moving too, and you've got, oh, you poor thing. I mean, that would just hurt. And most people would be able to just put their leg up for a few days or weeks or whatever and let it heal. But you've got to move as well. Oh, shit. Oh, that sun is so warm. It's 5 o'clock here, 5 p.m. And I think it's about 25 degrees Celsius. You'll have to use an online converter for that, for Fahrenheit. I don't know. Like I always say, I only know that 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So summer is coming. Yeah, it was a great idea, Tanny. Like there's another one here. We've walked along this street many times, but look, this one, stuffed monkey. It's looking a bit worse for wear these days. Oh, Peggy T, I'm glad. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's lovely to have you with me too, with us. I'll show you some of the cute houses, hey? So I live in as you probably already know, a coastal community about 40 minutes out of Hobart in southern Tassie. And down here, 60% of the population are permanent residents and 40% are shack owners. And in Australia, what we call a shack is like a beach house. But shacks are a bit daggy, deliberately. They're not meant to be fancy pants McMansions. They're just meant to be like this little place here. They're just meant to be simple little... They'll always bark at me. There's some more rubbish over there. Don't get me wrong, there's some really lovely houses here too. But there's a lot of... I hope the sun isn't too full on in anyone's face. It's full on in mine because I don't have sunnies on. I might actually put my sunnies on just till we get down to Red Ochre. And then I'll put my glasses back on and I'll be able to read chat. But yeah, so we call beach houses shacks, but they're normally, I mean, that's actually quite a tidy looking one too. But they're normally sort of, like simpler homes, often weatherboard. I mean, this place here is, they've knocked down a shack and built something pretty spectacular there. Oh, it's for sale. Oh no, it's sold. Not surprising. And this looks like, this little bit at the front looks like the original house. So it might be its own little separate 7A. So it's actually 2 properties. That's cute. Like this sort of place. So they're not meant, shacks aren't your sort of, even though it's where you go for some holidays, they're not fancy and over the top. It's more about them being on or near really beautiful beaches. And everyone just packs up their families, their dogs, sometimes their cats, and they all head off to their shacks for summer. We're just about to see my favourite place on the left. Some of you who've gone with walks with me for a while have been watching this building happen bit by bit. I love it. I don't want to put the camera on it in case people are in the living room. Have a look at this place, guys. So it's really, really simple design. the front room with all the glass is basically a living, dining and kitchen area. And then when you go out the back, there's a separate little building, like a container size, that's got bedrooms. And then on the other side of this little Balinese pavilion courtyard, there's a bathroom and a little laundry. And then have a look through here. Check out that little retro. I hope you can see it. Behind the caravan on the garage, the old garage door, there's like a retro circular window with a green blind. Can you guys see that? So they've kept a lot of the original bits of the house. But down here, you can see through there. And then on the other side of the van, there's also accommodation in there, in the little brick building as well. But again, so simple and not pretentious. There's a shack. There's a shack that's been abandoned for a while. So yeah, we all have a pretty nice life down here. And yeah, 60% of the population's permanent. Look, there's a TV and a TV stand. Someone will be driving around to check out the hard rubbish and they'll be like, oh, score. A TV and a TV stand, look out. And so over summer, the population doubles because people come down to their shacks or people rent shacks for the summer. So as much as we get excited with summer coming, a part of that is also the townies are coming. I love this block of land. It's got a little picnic table down there. I think it's really cute. The people that bought it have demolished the house that was there, so they're obviously going to build something one day. And they come down over summer and camp here. See, look at that cool shack. Kind of 1950s or 60s. Gorgeous. I love that place. If that place went on the market, I would seriously consider putting an offer in. Not to move into it. I've already built my dream house, but the demand for houses down here and rentals is really high. And I love living down here, and I'd really love to own a house that I could rent out, not as a holiday place, but as a home, so that someone else can move down here too. All right, we're heading over the road. We're going to Red Ochre Beach. Red Ochre and Blue Lagoon are more what's the word? Protected than the beach where I live. We're going to go cross country to Gervais. I'll just change over my glasses for the moment. Cash. Oh, woman, hello. I haven't seen you forever. Oh, Mel must be in chat too. Hi, Mel. Yeah, I love the Vinny series too. It's so funny. Are you on Better Homes and Gardens? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yeah, where have you been, old woman? Been missed. All right, guys, we're going cross country. Pookie T wants to put her toes on the sand. Look at this, guys. I hope the view is as stunning for you as it is for me in the flesh. Now, StreamYard annoys me because it doesn't let me zoom in and everything looks a million miles away, but it's not really a million miles away at all. So we're going down there so Pookie T can have a walk on the sand. It's actually quite hot still. It's hotter over here than it was on the other side because there's no breeze on this side, whereas it was getting quite windy and choppy around the beach where I am. Oh, I've got a feeling this is the one where I can't get down from here. Hang on. I have a feeling I've been tried to go this way before, and it's like, nah, about turn. Oh, it's a real scramble. I'm going back up. I can't. There's nothing I can put my hand on while I go down. I'll fall. I'm really clumsy. I will definitely do a love heart for Pookie husband for sure. For sure. See, Pookie, we're not just walking in the sand for you. We're actually going to send you a big message of love for your husband once I'm down there. Another reason for me to go the safe way, because it is such if I broke my leg or something or tore my meniscus in my knee. Sit on your bottom and slide down. Yeah, that's usually what happens, whether I intend to do that or not. It is quite steep. I think you should be all admiring my athletic agility. Hey, look at this. Ooh, that was quite a drop. Oops, someone's spot. Here we are. Hey, look, someone's that was probably a hard rubbish collection. Someone's picked up a couch and put it in that spot. That would have been easier to come through there. My mountain goats, exactly. I am a Capricorn, so, you know, don't underestimate my goat. Okay, I'm going to find... I was going to find a really thick stick so I could do a really big heart, but I'm just going to do it with my hand. Pecky, I need initials for the love heart for your husband. Because I can either write "We love" and then his initial, or we can write his name, or we can put Pookie T loves RG and DG. Awesome. Okay. It's going to be a big one. There's the start of it. Now, I should have said I'm quite kooky with how I'm being kooky for Pookie. I like putting a tail on my hearts. I hope you can see there's a little tail there. I like them to cross over. R, G, and DG. Okay. I'm in the way. So see that? RG and DG. And because there's a bit of space down here, I'm going to put another little love heart inside it. There you go, Groover. I wish I could do an aerial because it's looking a bit narrow and I keep getting in the way of it too. I'm trying to find a spot where I can show it to you that I'm not in the shadow. RG and DG. I'd normally do a slightly rounded, chubbier love heart because I'm all for big round things, but I hope you love that. If anyone wants to screenshot it and crop me out of the corner, go for it. So lots of love all the way from Tasmania via Western Australia and Melmel. Oh, the tide's coming in, but that doesn't mean that will disappear. Melmel position for another one, let me know. Fun. It's kind of hard. Oh, you got a perfect one. Awesome. Well, there you go. Lots of love to you, Pookie T. Cute, huh? On a beach all the way in Tasmania. I bet he never thought that would happen. But it did. Thanks for suggesting that, Melmel. Great idea. So this is gorgeous red ochre. And some of you have been here before with me. This is where I need to come if I want to watch sunsets, because they happen on this side of the hill that I live on. The side of the hill I live on, I get the sunrise and full sun in the morning. Then I get shade at the hottest part of the day with the sun directly overhead. And then in the afternoon, I get afternoon sun filtering in through the windows at the back. But I don't really get the sunsets. I might see the sky change colour, but that's about it. Hello, beautiful Ruth. We love you, Pookie T. And then over on that point, the next lot of sand that you see, that's actually 7 Mile Beach, which is, it doesn't actually connect down here. The end of 7 Mile Beach is visible. We've had a look at that before. But that beach with all those pine trees, that goes right around to the airport. So when people fly into Hobart, they fly in over here. Like, imagine how breathtaking it is for them the first time. I mean, it's breathtaking when I know it, but when you're arriving here and your plane comes in here, there's a lot of birds out there. I reckon there could be a lot of fish happening. So this beach and the next one around that point, which isn't 7 Mile that you can see, but there's another cove around that corner that's called Blue Lagoon. But it's not where the Brooke Shields movie was based. Exactly, Mel. Exactly. We've got to keep talking about everyone we've lost. We've got to keep them alive. Not just in memory, but in spirit too. Actually, it's a big day tomorrow in Tassie. Some of you came for walks with me when I was letterbox dropping for the voluntary assisted dying bill, essentially legalised euthanasia. That goes before Parliament tomorrow to be decided. So send out lots of vibes that it comes together, because having had not one but 2 parents die in an extraordinary amount of pain, and their quality of life was fuck all, I want people to be able to have that choice, you know? And there's a beautiful line that they used. It said, it's beautiful. Tasmania is a beautiful place to live. Let's make Tasmania a beautiful place to die. Sorry, Pookie T, it's probably a bit raw, but it's just a cause I'm really passionate about. And hey, yell at him too if you need to, Pookie T. I yell at my mum all the time. I probably yell at my dad, but you got to yell at them occasionally. The best thing about that is they can't yell back at you. My mum had such a great sense of humour before she died. Well, she probably still does now if she's floating around somewhere, but yeah, she would probably love that every now and then I blame her if I stub my toe or something like that. I'm like, I know that you did that. I'm sure of it. Because she had a black sense of humour. She'd piss when we were little kids and learning to walk and stuff. If we fell over, she would laugh her head off. And her brother, my Uncle John, he would deliberately trip his kids over, and Mum and Uncle John would piss themselves laughing. That kind of inappropriate humour I grew up with. I can't wait to see your beaches, Mel Mel. I'm going to start taking you guys to other beaches too, in case I did wonder the other day if people are getting sick of seeing my beaches all the time. My beaches, the beaches near where I live. There's the heart. We'll keep going a little way. I'll show you some boathouses and stuff, but I did mean to say a few times, because this is the sheltered cove, this is really popular for people with little kids. It's much safer than the surf beach around the corner, although the surf beach around the corner is pretty safe, but it's not great for like 1-year-olds, you know. So on a beautiful night like tonight, and it's 5:30 p.m, it doesn't start getting dark in summer in Tassie till 10 p.m, but at the moment I think the sun is starting to go down at about 8:30. But in the middle of summer, it's still light at 10 p.m. It's beautiful. But a lot of people do bring their kids, their babies down here. So I just want to be mindful that I don't put anyone in shot. And yeah, we Australians aren't like Americans when cameras get put in their faces and they smile and perform and love it, where like people here get quite shitty. They're suspicious of people with cameras. So I'm really cautious that I don't, and careful that I don't, A, get anyone in shot, but also don't upset anyone. Oh, you've been missing your mum. Really old woman. Your mum's a really old woman? So you've still got her in your life, you just can't see her at the moment because of COVID, is that? I'm just gonna go this way for a sec. The sun's fully in my face. You've been cheeky, Mel Mel. Oh, I get you. You're just giving each other shite. Well, that's the beauty of my channel, giving each other shite. So yes, I'm going to try to walk along here and whilst respecting people and not showing them and putting them in the shot. So we probably can't go a long way because I notice there's a family up further with quite a few kids. Look at the beautiful clean water. How you doing? Good. You're about to start fishing?
Nah, just on the way home.
Oh, okay. Did you get anything? Right. It's just nice being out in the sun, isn't it? Yeah, stunning. Little crab just bit me on my toe. I don't think anyone's moving to head home anytime soon. Oh, she did. Oh, 18 months at age 97. What an amazing life, though. That's incredible. Good on her. Wow. Yeah, and I would get that. I mean, 18 months isn't long ago. I miss my mum like crazy, and she died in 2000. It never changes. It never goes. I still pick up the phone to call her. Although now I pick up my mobile, but well, I did have a mobile when she died, but things happen that I want to let her know. So these are these gorgeous little boathouses that people have their kayaks, boats, dinghies. Some of them get converted into like little almost like little self-contained living rooms with a day bed and a little kit. You're not meant to live in them, You're not allowed to live in them. But you can sort of convert them into a nice little retreat. Some people do live in them illegally, not these ones, but there are ones closer to there are ones in Hobart that are stunning. They sell for like 350, 400,000, and they're fully self-contained. And yeah, you're not meant to sleep overnight in them, but there are some people who do. But there's a bit of a gathering up here of people playing cricket and soccer and kids and stuff. So I don't want to go much further. I love it when crabs bite me on the toe. I don't know why I find it funny. I do. I should have filmed it and shown you the little rooster. But yeah, pop in here anytime, old woman. Losing her mum sucks. And yeah, mine died in 2000. She only just turned 60. So I don't even remember her as an old woman at all. Like, I mean, I'm going to be 54 in January. I'm only 6 years younger than when she died. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's weird too. Like, I'd do anything to have her back, but I also, although I'm still tormented by her being in pain and being sick, it's also kind of cool that I don't remember her being old. Like if she'd lived to 97 and had her wits about her and all the rest of awesome. But because I'm studying dementia at the moment, if she'd ended up, in a home with dementia or something. We got sharks. I saw someone asking about sharks earlier. I have one crab, Tanny. Don't over-exaggerate. I don't have crabs. I have a crab. Well, I had a crab momentarily. I don't know where it went. Hopefully it'll be a little soldier crab. They're tiny. Like it's almost like a little pinprick. A tiny little pinch. So sharks. Right. So we generally only have, in southern Tasmania, we have cold water sharks. So great whites, white pointers, we don't usually get down this far. So it's not to say they don't come down this far. They have. There's been a few fatal attacks on the east coast. There was a shark sighting at the beach where I live a few years ago, and they had people like flying over in planes and stuff. It wasn't actually confirmed. But the beach that I live on, Point, at the other end in Carlton River, that's actually a gummy shark nursery, a natural one. It's not like a man-made nursery for baby sharks. Gummy sharks don't have any teeth, so they can latch onto you, but they don't even crush you. They're not like a blue-tongued lizard that doesn't really do damage with its teeth, but it can crush your bones. So we do have gummy sharks, but they're also tiny. They don't get to be very big. Okay, you've had a much more intense experience with a crab than I have. Blue spanners I just eat. They've got to be my favourite. Well, I love all crabs to eat, but I do love blue spanners, but soft shells are my favourite. Oh, Ruth. It's weird how stuff like that still happens, isn't it? Like someone will say or do something really funny, and I know that my mum would appreciate it more than anyone. My dad died 2013, but while he was still alive, so many fucked up things he said and did, I wanted to ring her and tell her. I wanted to dob on him. Not just to dob on him so someone else knew what he was up to, but also to hear what she would say in response, because she was the master of the acidic, hilarious one-liner at his expense. For example, Mum had been sick for a decade and it was getting close to the end for her, and Dad was not the best husband to her. He was a federal police, hardly ever home because he'd worked in another state. But they had a really good friendship. But he also gave her the shits. He gave us all the shits. He was quite an enigmatic dude. No one could get a word in when my dad was around. So we're in Mum's room, and she's not in a coma or anything at this stage. She's just pretty weak and frail. And Dad's, I think, partly for show, because there were people in the room with her, but he held her hand and he said, "Matsy, you know, you've put up a really good fight. We're proud of you. But, you know, if you think it's time for you to go, then just let go." And Mum, without moving a muscle, without flinching or anything, just looked at him and said, "I'm not going until I work out how to take you with me." And we lost it. We fucking lost it. And I've told that joke on stage. Well, it's not a joke, it's a true story, but it's fucking funny. My mum gave me a lot of material. I've told that story on stage, and I've had people heckle me going, "You're not allowed to joke about death." It's like, I'm telling a true story about my mum. Get fucked. Get fucked, fuck off. Which brings me back to what I wanted to YouTube for something different. But I may not. So political correctness. I think in some instances, political correctness has been a good thing. I think it's made people realise there are some words in the English language that are offensive, and they are hurtful, and they are hateful. And for the most part, people have stopped using them, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But there's always a but. I think it's gone way too far. And this isn't a new concept. I've got a group on Facebook that's over a decade old, a community of nearly 15,000 people, primarily women, but also some dudes who are child-free either by choice or by chance or by bad luck. You know, they wanted kids, but they didn't meet someone. They didn't get pregnant, whatever. And I was interested the other day when I looked at the demographic in my group that the millennials are actually the largest group at the moment, which is weird because I've been really trying to keep the balance of ages as I'm adding people. But it's not a new concept in my group. Political correctness has actually been a massive pain for me and my mods for a long time. We're always having to moderate threads where someone's butthurt. And a lot of them end up getting pissed off and they leave the group and they have a little flounce and announce that they're leaving, and we all have a big party and everyone has a great time. But sometimes they just get jacked off and then they start sort of, you know, following that particular person who upset them around the group, and they start harassing them, and eventually we say, "You really need to go," because we're all for passionate debate in here. But harassing people and name calling and abusing people in our group is a big no-no. So fuck off. Anywho, you do have to keep laughing to keep from crying, Perky teeth, for sure. Yeah, my mum came out with some rippers. I'll tell you more another time. I don't want to give away all of her material in one life. So anyway, it's not uncommon in our group to have a butthurt millennial. Sorry, I am generalising, but the fact of the matter is, it is always the millennials. I can say that with 100% accuracy. We have not had anyone getting butthurt over really stupid shit unless they've been a millennial. I swear to God, the younger generations in there are like, "Oh, fuck you, and the millennials again," just as much as the Gen Xers are. Like, we haven't had anyone else cause these kind of dramas. And it's like, I was saying to one of the mods, or to all of the mods today, it's like, there are people in the world that wake up in the morning and just decide that today they're going to be fucking offended by everything, which does lead me to YouTube, because a lot of them are on YouTube too. But that's another story. So, to get more research funding, I came up with an awesome thesis idea. Now I've got to remember what it was. I've written it on one of the threads in my group. I'll go back and find it. It's a really good idea for a thesis. It's a contemporary issue. And it's not to be offended or not to be offended. That is the question. It wasn't anything to do with that. No, and I know that not all of you do PET. And like I said, I mean, it's a terrible generalisation. There are some beautiful millennials in my life and also in the group. But there's a group of them that in my group that are also exactly like the millennials that the company I work for has employed, and friends of mine have employed, and friends of mine have studied with, that are fuckwits. It's a fact. So anyway, and I know there's other people in other age groups that get offended. I mean, look at Karen's, right? But there's just this cluster in our group who are offended by everything, and it is fucking exhausting. I'll give you an example. There was a thread a few years ago where we were all talking about TV shows and songs and ads and things from when we were kids that we remembered. And somebody posted a song which I actually knew, and I think it's an English comedian, I can't remember, but it was a song called Pop-Up Toaster. And the lyrics, the song essentially goes, it goes in white and it comes out brown because it's a pop-up toaster, right? It's a song about bread being toasted in a toaster. We had one of the biggest dramas in my group because a little handful of snowflakes decided that was racist and offensive. And I kindly pointed out to them that no, it's fact. If you put toast in a toaster and it's white bread that you put in the toast is going to toast it and make it brown. And that song isn't fucking racist. It's pretty much just factual. It's just saying a toaster changes the colour of bread because it fucking toasts it. We're Gen X, Tanny. We're the forgotten generation. It was unbelievable. We had people flouncing over it. We had people abusing the fuck out of people over it. Like, we're really big on critical thinking and intelligent conversation and lively debate in my group. But if you resort to name calling, we kick you out because we don't need people in there that can't argue a point without calling someone a cunt, pretty much. Actually, they don't really say that word. I might just sit up on the beach since we're back at Pookie's and her husband's love heart. I might just sit up. Well, there's some kids, I won't film them, but they're sitting up on the couch that we saw just before. I was going to sit next to my shoes, but you'll be able to see your heart there, Pookie T. So, well, exactly. But then imagine if the song was it goes in white and it comes out black because it's in Pookie's pop-up toaster. That would have been even worse. Yeah, we're Gen X, Tanny, the forgotten generation. So anyway, to get to the story. Political correctness. So we've had fights in there about all sorts of stuff. We had a girl that got butthurt because she posted a picture of a salt lamp and a few people said they didn't believe they had magical powers. Holy shit. It was the end of the world as we knew it. We had flouncers over a millennial, who couldn't understand why people thought Androids were good phones. And then pretty much told everyone on the thread who had an Android that they were too poor to afford an iPhone. You know, all kinds of crap. It's just shit like that all the time, every day, day in, day out. So last night, we've been posting a lot of US election memes and everyone's been having a great time, memes and gifs and stuff. We've been having a great time and a good laugh. My group is very liberal, left-leaning, liberal thinking, left leaning, and 60% of the population in my group is from the USA. So the election was a big deal, and the rest of the world that make up the other 40% of the group, we're all interested in the US election. So it was good. There was a lot of good stuff happening, unlike last election when Trump got in and everyone lost their shit, understandably. The mods and I didn't because I can't drink, but we were all saying that we should be paid in alcohol by the members of the group because they gave us all serious drinking problems. Yeah, I'm going live from this beach in Tasmania on an Android. Sucks to be poor. You're right, PQT. I had an iPhone for work and it was the biggest piece of shit I've ever had, whereas my Android's unbelievable. Like my Android's on 60% and it was on 75 when I left home. My iPhone wouldn't have been charged this long. No way. No way. My iPhone used to have to be plugged in all the time when I was working, like just constantly on my charger. This one, if I don't go live on YouTube, I don't need to charge it. Like probably every 2 days, I'll chuck it on the charger. Sometimes 3. What do you think is offensive? Oh, the comment about Android owners being broke and poor. Oh yeah, it's fucking rude, but it's up to us whether we get offended by it, right? I personally think they're better phones. That's why I've got one, and I'm quite vocal about how I feel about iClones, as I like to call them. Yeah, people are wankers, Tanny. So anyway, I want to get this fucking story out. So last night I posted a meme, of Melania Trump on the next season of The Bachelorette, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. And I put a comment that said, I wish this would actually happen because I would love to see all of these men when she says, will you accept this rose, saying, fuck no, you've slept with Donald Trump. And my, how the group laughed until I woke up this morning and discovered that I offended some snowflakes. Apparently, by doing that, I'm slut-shaming Melania, which I think is interesting because if anything, I'm dick-shaming Trump with that comment, right? I know enough about Melania as First Lady and stupid fucking things that she did. I don't think she's an innocent victim. I think she's complicit in a lot of his bullshit, and I've also seen enough to know that she's racist. Like, I don't have a high opinion of her as a person, but I don't know much about how many dicks she's had. It's not something I'm that interested in, to be honest. So I woke up this morning to some snowflakes who were incredibly upset and accused me of slut shaming, which I actually think is kind of weird because I literally said Donald, right? I didn't say because she's the town bike or she's been round the block a few times. So I responded and said, if anything, I'm dick shaming Donald, and that's it. It's meant to be a bit of lighthearted fun. Don't be so serious. Hello, Barry. You've come around from the other beach to say, oh, look, Pookie T. Barry's come around to see your love heart. Barry, go and do a little like a little dance in the love heart. Come on, Basil. I don't have any chips. Piss off. The plastic card. Wind sound. Oh, does it sound strong? It's dead calm, really. Here, I mean, there's a breeze. It was probably just right on my microphone. I don't actually know where the microphone is on this phone. I need to Google it and see. And I need to build a little sort of boxy thing that I can put it in when I go on the beach. Because there's a tiny breeze here. It's not windy at all. Look, all the seagulls are coming to see. Oh God, I don't know who these ones are. I mean, there's Shazza, there's Kazza, there's Dazza. Who are you? Oh, Lazza. Good to meet you, Lazza. Lazza, go and talk to your friends. Yeah, fucking come and talk to us, man. Fuck off. I don't like any of you. Well, fuck you too, Barry. We're going to check out Pookie T and her husband's love home in the sand. I'm bored. You suck. Still bored. Fuck you, Barry. Please don't send me a photo of Donald Trump's penis if that's what you're talking about. You have. Oh my God. Yeah, I heard it was tiny. I followed I was going to call her Stormy Weathers. Stormy Summers, was that her name? Stormy, the chick that shagged him. She talked about his micropene and what a bad lover he was. But anyway, so back to my group. So there's a heap of little snowflakes all yelling at me and calling me a slut shamer. Now, like I said, don't know anything about Melania's sexual history at all. Like, because of this thread in the group, I know that there's now this rumor that she was shagging a security guard from Tiffany's in the Trump building. Apparently she and Justin Trudeau, well, not Justin Trudeau, but apparently she was like, fuck, I'm with the wrong leader of a country. Like, what am I doing with Donnie over here when I could have had something smoking hot and closer to my age like Justin? But in any event, I don't know about that stuff. I just look at her as in terms of, look, Peggy T, that little seagull just added some little prints. Well, it didn't actually because it's so light it didn't, but well, I know, Ruth, but there's a point to me telling this story. But what I wanted to say was, with political correctness, like, what happens is they end up arguing why they're offended, not what your intention was. So I could have sat there going over and over and over again, it was a joke, get over it, it was a joke. What they end up doing is they start an argument which is based on their opinion, which is not what your intention was. And you end up having to defend yourself in regards to their opinion of what you've done that's offensive when you didn't mean to offend anyone in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm cheeky. I've got a black sense of humour. I've got an incredibly dark sense of humour. I can say the worst things imaginable sometimes. Oh, look, they're singing for your husband, Pookie T. This is the song of the gulls. Look at this little one. God, they're funny. They're so beautiful. They look like Tasmanian seagulls are so clean. And I mean, they're noisy right now, but look how white and clean they are. When I lived in Adelaide, they were, and also the Tassie ones are a little bit chubby, some of them. When I lived in Adelaide, all the seagulls were kind of minging. Like they'd have, some fishing wire hanging out of their mouths, or they'd have a hook. I mean, that one's pretending it's only got one leg. It has actually got two. In fact, that one's pretending as well. But to me, they look like they're painted. They look like they're painted on the beach, or they're painted on jetties, or they're just pretty. It's all happening. Because I'm sitting here, they think I have food. They've got no idea that I'm just filming them for all of our entertainment. So yeah, the constant, the perpetually offended, and with the slut shaming comment, I actually think that they're kind of reverse slut shaming, because for them to accuse me of slut shaming, they have to think that Melania's a slut or a woman who's had many partners. Like, you can't shame someone, you can't slut shame someone unless that person, like, I hope you know what I'm trying to say. For them to think I was slut shaming, they have to think that Melania's had gazillions of partners, and that my comment about her having taken Donald's dick was slut shaming, but that's not my point. I was dick shaming him, if anything. So I kind of feel like that comment was almost reverse slut shaming, because you have to kind of think someone is something to think someone else is shaming them for that thing, right? Fucking wankers. And the amount of time I had to spend kind of trying to defend myself. I mean, in the end, we just kind of, it's politically correct to poop on the beach. Generally humans shouldn't, but if you're stuck, run in the water and do it. It'll float away. That's what we were taught as kids. Not that I think I might have done a poo in the ocean once, and it was really weird, and I couldn't handle the poo floating past me, so I don't think I ever did it again, but birds can poop wherever the fuck they want. You'll be offended if they poop on the, well, you're already offended then, because Scottish word, Tory, what was that one? Tanny Mingen. Munted? I can't remember what I said. Yeah, so, but the thing that made me laugh was I've got all these snowflakes screaming at me, highly offended, and I at no point in time did I actually say, oh, then this one person came. I amended my thread and said, okay, people think that I'm slut shaming. I just want to explain this is a joke. It's purely about how gross Trump's dick is. That's it. Like, essentially, would you accept the rose knowing that she'd been with Donald Trump was the whole point. Then I got lectured by another little fucker for amending my thread and accusing me of dirty deleting, which is a term that's used in a lot of social media platforms where people delete a thread or a comment. We're fine with our members deleting threads and comments. We have no issue with that. There's no such thing as dirty delete in my group. But I've got this fucker telling me that I've dirty deleted, and I said, there's no such thing as dirty delete in a group. Everyone can delete whatever the fuck they want. Then she comes back and looks like dirty deleting to me. It's like, yeah, but we don't have it in this group. It doesn't exist. It's not a concept that occurs in this group. There's no such thing. Well, it looks like it to me. You could have left the original blah, 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 blah. And I was like, thank you for mansplaining to me how I should behave in the group I fucking created 10 years ago. Like, thank you so much. Where would I be without you? In future, anytime I want to post in my own fucking community, I'll get your permission. I'll run a draft by you, and if you're happy with it, give me the thumbs up and I'll post it. Like, what the fuck? I didn't say that. Another mod swooped in and said, there's no such thing as dirty delete. Get over yourself. Move the fuck on. Yeah, Mingen. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I know. It's ridiculous. But that's where I wanted to go with talking about YouTube. Because I enjoy listening to YouTube and people being dickheads. I really do. I really do. And the latest fuckery has been a while coming, but many of us saw it coming, and now it's happening, and we're like listening to people saying, I don't want to be told I told you so. And it's like, well, why not? Because you were told and people knew and you were told for a reason. And you didn't listen to people who had direct experience who knew. And I don't like it when people are saying, I told you so to be smug, but don't bloody edit or censor people's discussions when it really is a case of I told you so. But in addition to that, and I'm being cryptic for a reason, because I don't want to turn this into I'm enjoying the beach, but it's connected to what's been happening in my Facebook group, which is this whole thing about people being offended. And one of the people in the middle of all of this current fucking stuff is offended by fucking everything that other people say, but never accountable for anything that they've said that might have offended someone else or done that might have hurt someone else. Where does that mindset come from, and how is that okay? It's fucking annoying. I don't have a brick wall at my house, but because of YouTube, every now and then I think, build one and beat the shit out of your head on it because you know you want it. She's a Karen. She's a Karen. Like, cubed. I am all for people owning their shit. I'm all for people saying, didn't handle that well, might try it differently next time. And I'm all for people saying, sorry, I fucked up. But you can't be a bulldozer and constantly have people saying to you, what you did has hurt me, and not accept at some point along the way that what you have done has hurt people and make amends or apologize or at least be fucking humble. And when people are saying, oh, I wish everyone on YouTube would stop telling people to apologize. Why? Why? Apologizing is acknowledging you were a dickhead. Just fucking say sorry and move on. People want people to apologize, so it puts an end to the constant lives that go for 6, 7, 8 hours of whiny, whiny, whiny. And now here's me once again on the beach whining about whiners. But you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, apologies are really good ways to end shit. So, all the people on YouTube that are saying just apologize and move on, I applaud you. Good on you. Keep saying it. And all the little people in chat that go, nobody else is doing anything. Shut the fuck up. The only reason you don't want anyone to apologize is because you don't want to stop watching this shit. You want to wake up every day and see this shit on YouTube and go, you beauty. Let's make some popcorn and settle in. Fuck you, motherfuckers. People, own your shit. Be accountable. Say sorry. Agree to disagree, like I did with this snowflake in my Facebook group, and let it fucking go. And if you have been a dick along the way and you have hurt somebody, say fucking sorry. Don't sink your heels in and go, wow, for the last, 10 months, people have been saying to me that my behaviour has upset them, hurt them, made them leave YouTube. Look at this trail of destruction. Along the way, at any point, did you say sorry to any of them? Do you think maybe apologising to one of them or accepting that you're the common denominator in all of this shit means maybe you've fucked up a little? And there's nothing wrong with fucking up a little. There's nothing wrong with fucking up a lot. What's wrong with it is not ever acknowledging or recognising that you are the common denominator and you're not always right. And a shitload of people have got the same stories and they've told them over and over and over again. And you're the common denominator. And I might point out, there's not one person I'm talking about right now. There's 2 creators on YouTube I'm talking about. And some of you probably won't know who one of them is. And you might be guessing, and that's fine. Some of people who know me really well will probably know who the 2 people are that I'm talking about. It's not really even that relevant who they are because I'm sure this shit happens in so many other communities on Facebook and YouTube. Two words. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mel. You should be. I'm kidding, love. I agree, Perky Teeth. Fucking participation trophies. It's led to a generation of wrong. You know, participation trophies. Hello, beautiful dog. Look at you. Participation trophies. I worked my ass off at school to win races. I went to a co-ed Catholic school and I worked my ass off to beat the boys because I was a good runner. And the thought of beating the boys in my age group was like my goal. That's all I wanted to do. So when I did, getting that blue ribbon that I have worked my butt off for, my God, that ribbon was like, they might as well have given me $1 million. I loved that ribbon so much. It became the most cherished thing I had. The fact that I had a pixie cut and when I crossed the line, the guy that gave me the ribbon said, well done, lad. That was a bit of a bubble burster. But the point is, I worked my ass off for that. But these days, you finish the race 6.5 years after everyone else. Everyone's packed up, gone home, left school, married and had children, and you finally cross the line and you get a fucking ribbon. Get fucked. No, you lost. You lost. You don't get anything. Getting that ribbon, whether it was blue, green or red, those first 3 place ribbons made people work hard, made people set goals. They deserve those ribbons. But the little fucker that crosses the line 6.5 years later, no. Or 2 hours later when the race is over and everyone's gone home, no. Even the ones that finish 4th, no. Good work, work harder. Maybe next time you'll get a 3rd spot, you know? Fuckers. I want to sit somewhere I can see because the sun is getting like low and so in my face. And I don't want to have people in shop. But anyway, look at me rant and vent. I was talking to church, Pookie. Yeah, it does look. A woman. There could be thousands of people that I'm talking about out there on YouTube land, because there's certainly hundreds of them in my Facebook group, and I've got 15,000 people roughly, and I reckon about 1,000 of them are offended every day. Yeah, Joshy, 5,000 bliss. The other thing too, which is kind of funny, like my niece and nephew, when they were really little, lived in Torres Strait. They lived on several different islands. They lived on Turtle Island, they lived on York Island, and they lived on Yam Island. They didn't live on Turtle Island, Thursday Island. When they won a race, again, the kid that won, you didn't get second or third place, just the kid that won would go over to a table and choose their prize. And the prizes were things like a pineapple or a coconut or a tin tomatoes or tin salmon. And when Jemima and Jock moved back to Tassie and they started going to school here and they started winning things and getting ribbons, and they weren't the participation ribbon generation. They are millennials, but they're like right up. They're right on the tail end of it. Like Jemima's only 23 and Jock isn't actually a millennial. He's the next generation below. But when they started winning things, Jemima was like, this sucks. I want a coconut or a pineapple. Like, at least we could eat that shit. Like, they loved the fact. And I think, how cool is that? Why haven't schools in Australia ever thought about doing that? Like, when you win a race, you get to pick a piece of fruit, or give every kid a piece of fruit instead of a ribbon. So you do get a participation pear or apple or banana to encourage healthy eating. Let it out, Tours. Oh no, it's the heart. The heart's it's opened my heart and it's making me spill all the things. Oh, because all of the kids have it, of course. Well, fuck that. I mean, but at least the millennials could have been given a fruit. Why did they get ribbons? I'd go and sit on that couch up there, but I've got no idea where it's been. Minging. I'm going to sit somewhere and keep chatting, but the sun is just getting low and starting to really, like, I can't read the screen. I'll go down this way a bit. Oh, everyone say goodbye to Pookie's husband, Pookie and her husband's love heart. The tide's actually going out, by the way, too. So it'll be there till morning. Lots of people are going to see the heart walking on the beach. Yeah, all the kids have allergies, for fuck's sake. So, yeah, my Facebook community and the easily offended, the people on YouTube that are easily offended. One of the things that made me bring this up was the members of my group that were easily offended with my joke about Melania being the next bachelorette, for fuck's sake. The difference between them and some of the people on YouTube is that they've never done or said anything to hurt me before. Like, they've obviously been in the group. They might have been offended by other shit. I didn't notice it because it wasn't the thread that I started. No one reported it, whatever. Like, they don't have a record of being assholes in the group. On YouTube, there are creators that have a reputation for being assholes on YouTube. And yet people still support them. Even though they keep doing that same shit over and over and over again. And the only thing that changes is who they're targeting. And people still support them. But then, God forbid, somebody says something that really doesn't have much to do with that person at all. They get offended, they scream and yell, they carry on, they start bleating on about shaming. I heard the expression job shaming yesterday. Hello, Starlight. I got a notification. Hello, Starlight's gone live and her topic is, what if birds had arms? They'd probably punch people in the face and then fly away. That's my answer for you. Hello, Starlight. If you ever watch the replay on this and get to this, that's my answer for you, Groover. It is selective outrage. Correct. Selective outrage. And not only that, but friends of theirs, I use friends loosely and in inverted commas, while they're friends with someone, that someone can say and do all kinds of reprehensible things. And that person's there cheering them on and backing them. And there's nothing wrong because it's their friend. Their friend is lovely. Their friend isn't horrible. Their friend isn't mean. Their friend isn't nasty. They're cheering them on. But when they're no longer friends and they do something similar, there's 6-hour lives about them. It does my head in. And not only that, but worse, that same creator who's now so butthurt about a former friend and what they've said, that person's done so many horrible things, never apologised for anything, never been accountable. If someone was humble and accountable for something, I'd give them a lot of rope. I wouldn't be so irritated by them. I'd think, well, fucking awesome. You've acknowledged you fucked up. You acknowledged you could have handled something better. You acknowledged you hurt someone. But the fact that they don't is where I just go, what is wrong with you? And what is wrong with people who keep supporting you? And I get the people that are now finding out the truth, and a lot of us already could see it coming a long time. And fuck, don't get me wrong, I wasn't this switched on to it. Well, I kind of was. Mel and I have talked about a particular YouTube creator who, when I first encountered them, thought some of the things they did were funny, but since that brief moment of being mildly entertained, realised that there was a lot more sinister shit going on, and not from Mel, my own observations, and it's only got worse. And another creator on YouTube who I have a personal connection with, I was in the group of her first people she bloody tormented, and we all came out the other end broken and tried to plead and beg with people to see the light, and they wouldn't. And I get it. Sometimes you've got to find things out for yourself to believe it. And I also am a firm believer that everyone should be able to meet someone, whether it's online or in the flesh, and make their own decision and not be influenced by other people. So I don't run around on YouTube going, don't like this person, don't watch this person. Like, I'm all for people finding it out for themselves. But isn't it a bit different when there's already a mountain of evidence out there about what they've done to other people, and all the stories are kind of similar? Like, don't reasonable people go, there's a common denominator here? And I think they're the problem, not all these other people from all different communities and backgrounds that have all got similar stories. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I agree with that. Like, you only ever apologise when you've done something wrong. But, you know, and a lot of the time we do things that we don't realise are wrong or hurtful. I mean, if someone in my Facebook group today, the one that's offended because she read way more into what I was saying and made it out to be this really deep statement about how I was devaluing Melania because she'd slept with a shitload of people, where I wasn't. I was saying, would you go out with her knowing she's shagged Trump? Basically, again, I was dick shaping Trump more than anything. Trump, I think from what Tanny was saying, he's got anything but a trunk. Where was I going with that? I can't remember. Yeah, sometimes people are offended and you don't need to apologise for that either, because them being offended doesn't make them right. But when someone's standing before you going, you hurt me, then you shut up and you listen to why, and you think about it and you go, oh my God, I feel terrible, I didn't intend that. Or you go, I fucking did that knowing it would hurt you and I'm an asshole, I'm so sorry. And then you don't have to be buddies anymore. You shake hands if you want it, or pre-COVID, you would know, you bump elbows, and off you go on your merry way. But on YouTube, people don't bump elbows and walk away and go on their merry way because they are addicted to the views and the subs and people flocking and watching and listening. I kind of feel like, well, yeah, innocent till proven guilty is another thing too, but sometimes there, aren't receipts. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of people going live, going, so-and-so said this on their channel or said this to me offline and you've got no evidence. That's really dangerous because there's all these fuckers that still think everything you say is great and they believe you. And it's a form of emotional abuse, really. I mean, if the Me Too movement hasn't made everyone more aware of just how many types of abuse there are, it's not always physical. And it doesn't even have to be sexual. Like emotional abuse there doesn't have to be a sexual relationship for that. Parents, and children, fathers that emotionally abuse their kids, partners that emotionally abuse their partners, obviously, siblings, like people, strangers, well, not strangers, but I see a lot of emotional abuse going on YouTube with subs and how they're treated and spoken to and what happens to them if they are seen in a chat of a channel that the creator doesn't like. And not all creators are like that, but there's a fucking heap that are. And they may not be publicly like that, but behind the scenes, you bet your fucking tit they are. Bet your left tit. Oh, shit. Oh, no, that's been postponed. I just got a message saying an AGM starting in 10 minutes. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I can't get home and to the meeting in time, but I remember it's been postponed till November. It is November. Later in November, the 30th, I think. Fuck. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I didn't go. I agree with Walton. Bruises, broken bones heal. Emotional abuse scars, emotional scars are left. Not that you're not scarred from physical, but emotional messes with your head a lot. It's horrible. Any form of abuse messes with your head. They're all horrible. But on YouTube, I see a lot of emotional abuse. And I see a lot of people just blindly participating and thinking they're being supportive and they don't realise they're being manipulated. And that's what I wanted to say about the snowflakes in my group that turned a bit of a lighthearted meme about Melania being the next bachelorette into a full-on argument about their position, which wasn't my intention in the first place. And how manipulative is that? Like they actually had me looking at and considering and responding to what they were saying and defending myself almost. I mean, I wasn't defensive, but I felt like I had to say to them. But it didn't matter what I said to them. They still soldiered on with the I'm offended thing. They weren't open to discussing it. They weren't open to dropping it. They basically were going to keep going until I agreed that what I said was offensive, and I wasn't fucking going to do that because it wasn't. Yeah, and people don't realise how their words can hurt, but I also think people need to sometimes not be hurt by words that have no dodgy intentions. Like this word shaming that gets put on the end of so many different things now. Like if we're down on the beach now having a walk and this dog came up to me and jumped up and slobbered all over me and shook itself all over me and ran off, and I said, oh, that dog sucked. Someone out there's going to go, she's a dog shamer. I'm like, fuck off. That dog mauled me and molested me and sprayed water all over me. I'm allowed to say that dog sucks. I'm not dog shaming. Calling out someone's shitty behaviour or shitty attitude isn't shaming. It's calling out shitty attitudes and shitty behaviour. Everything is about intent. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because of, well, you're not a lawyer, Tanny. I mean, you could have been a bloody Supreme Court judge, but maybe it's because of, I mean, the true crime community are so into true crime. And what's one thing you need to prove a crime? I mean, there's several things, but what is one element of a crime? Intention. Like, if you do something fucking stupid and someone ends up dying because of it, you don't get charged with murder, you get charged with manslaughter. Manslaughter means you didn't mean to do it, but unfortunately, because you're a fuckwit, it happened, and you have to be punished for it. Like, you've got to prove that that person was a bit of a dickhead, a bit negligent, a bit stupid. Something happened. It was sort of foreseeable that someone could potentially die. But with murder, like, you've got to prove intent. But all this all these people that are offended, and they go off on their fucking high horses and they get off their rockers about it. And they do these 6-hour lives and repeat it over and over and over again. And it's like, did you even ask the other person if they were just being sarcastic? Because that's another problem, isn't it? I know a lot of Americans are fluent in sarcasm, but holy shit, us Australians, we're sarcastic and we're dry and fuck me dead. Not everyone's fluent in sarcasm. Be careful, people. It's dangerous out there on YouTube. Your little sarcastic, witty one-liner. Ooh, it could lead to hours of lives about what an asshole you are. Be careful. Having studied in the States and spent a lot of time in detention because of my sarcastic comments, this warning comes not just from what I've seen on YouTube, but just what I've experienced myself. AJ, g'day. How you doing? We're down here on beautiful Red Ochre. I've brought us to the gentle, calm, soothing beach to offload. And probably for the first time in my entire time I've been on YouTube, I'm being quite vocal about all the shit that's happening on YouTube. Because a part of me watches on in bewildered awe and horror. And another part of me wants to bang my head against a wall. And then another part of me, I have to watch it because sometimes people I really love that I've met on YouTube are drawn into shit. And knowledge is power. I want to know what that person's saying. I know that I've tried to run all over YouTube defending people and trying to be heard on stuff, but I'm not a big creator and I'm not that well known. And I get ignored. Because if I say something, like, someone in the chat might go, I agree with you, Tori. But for the most part, I am not online talking about it all the time on my channel. I'm not vocal about it, and I don't have 10,000 subs because I bitch about other YouTubers. Sometimes I do watch and I do listen because knowledge is power, and I want to be able to defend people I care about. But yeah, unless you're about to go live or jump up on a panel, like when they drop links and they're like, come up and say something, sometimes I think, actually, I really want to. But if I do, I'm putting a target on my back. And my life is never going to be the same again. Do I want to bring this shit? Wouldn't it just be easier to switch off YouTube and never go back? Yeah, it would. Thank you, AJ. I really appreciate that. It is a beautiful view. I'm glad you popped in to see it. Isn't it stunning? Isn't it stunning? The sun will set in a couple of hours at 6:27. Probably by about 8:30 it'll disappear completely. But in the middle of summer here, it's light till 10 p.m. Remind me to take you guys for a beach walk one night when it's like still light at 10 p.m. It's incredible. It's incredible. We're not south enough to have the 24 hours of sunshine like some of the countries that are close to the North Pole. But I still think it being like bright until 10 o'clock and then sun's up at 5 a.m. is pretty wicked. Hey, have fun, Mel, with the kids. Give them all my love. I'm going to head up anyway. I agree with you, AJ. I've been thinking so much about what I want to do with my channel, and I'm kind of at a point where I'm thinking fewer lives and spend some time working out how to edit things and just upload videos. I still want people to watch my scam baiting stuff, but I'm thinking I will. I've loved going live and I've loved including my audiences in it. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on afterwards and behind the scenes, as you would probably know, AJ, that it's just not worth it, you know. When I get off a live, like when I used to walk off stage after doing a stand-up set, even if it wasn't the best set I'd ever done, the adrenaline rush I used to get from that was so overwhelming and like energizing and gorgeous, right? And when I started doing lives on YouTube, I used to get that same feeling. With comedy, though, even if you've had a bad set, when you come out of the green room, and some comedians might have a bad set and go in the green room and knock back a few drinks and sort of go, fuck, that wasn't the best gig. But when you do come out of the green room, people are still really supportive and they tell you that they, you know, good on you and, you know, that wasn't the funniest set I've seen, but you know, I have seen you be really funny. Like, you know, stick with it. You just had a shitty night. Or they say you were amazing even though you thought you were crap, like whatever. It's all positive. But with YouTube, you get off your live and people are messaging and calling and telling you they didn't like someone in your chat or how they felt about your life. It's like they critique it. It's like, what the fuck? I was Blake. If you're vocal, you put your subs at risk for being bullied. I haven't seen that as much, to be honest. I think that I get bullied by my subs. It's not all of them, but I've had quite a few contact me behind the scenes saying they don't like a certain person in my chat, and I don't know what they fucking want me to do. How is it my problem? It's not. But I don't. Yeah, I don't actually enjoy ending a live because I think, okay, who's going to send me a message in Messenger or like if I had my time over. If I had my time over, I would have probably been more selective about who I added on Facebook and Messenger, and for my like, if I'd known, because it's just unfamiliar to me that not that everyone loved me when I did comedy. Don't get me wrong, I had people heckle me and I had people not like my comedy, and same when I did breakfast radio. I don't expect everyone to think I'm great or anything like that. That's not my point. I just haven't had that same amount of people just feeling that they need to tell me they don't like someone in my chat. And an extraordinary number of people on a pretty small channel. And my other channel is like only 830 something. It's not a big channel. You'll stick to make. Well, you do make amazing videos, AJ. So do keep with it. People are mean. Oh, thank you for saying you love my podcast. I've been doing it for such a long time now that I sometimes wonder if anyone even listens. Yeah, you're a bully, Ruth. "27 voice messages. You're talking about you, Tanny, but yours are lovely. And I send you just as many back. Oh, your mum got scammed. Yeah, okay, Perky T, we'll definitely chat about it. And so that's why I want to go live from time to time, and I can go live and have people share their stories, I guess. I've got to rethink what I want to do with my channel. I mean, I'm so close to just leaving YouTube altogether, so I have my days of thinking reinvent yourself. I've thought about just starting a whole new channel. I'm back on the subs thing. I've also seen, not my channel so much, in fact, at all, but oh well, maybe sometimes, but not. It's certainly not known for it. I've seen some subs being fucking mega bullies. When I first discovered YouTube, I was like, this is a weird place because you need subs to have a channel, but a lot of subs have a lot of control. And there are some channels where I might actually quite like the creator, but I don't like their chat. Or I want to listen to the creator, even if I don't like them necessarily, but their chat is so aggressive and mean. And if anyone expresses a view that's different to the channel creator, they block you, time you out. You know, they're censoring open-minded discussion. And, well, one of the creators, in fact, both of the creators I was loosely talking about earlier, caught my eye, not because of any content they were creating, but because they always managed to derail a live and make it all about them. And they just talked about themselves and their own shit in chat all the time. And the creators would stop whatever they were doing and address them. And then the next thing they'd be up on panel and they'd take over the panel. And I hate that. And I don't hate it much. I don't hate anything. I only hate the word hate. But that really used to annoy me too. A creator would be doing a live about something that people were watching and chatting in chat because they were interested in it. And then someone arrives and makes it all about them and totally derails chat, totally derails the live. And again, it's so different to comedy because if a heckler heckled you and you had a chance to say something witty back at them, or you didn't and then they heckled you again and you did, that's usually the end of it. But if a heckler keeps heckling, they get removed from the club. Like, they get taken out by security. But the mods don't do that. They're timing out people in the chat that disagree with the creator. But when someone rocks up and they're disrupting everything, why aren't they fucking just removed? Why are they given so much time? And why are they allowed to derail conversation? And you look at how many people leave when those fuckers rock up. You listen to my podcast because I make you. Ruth, you're killing me. But Pookie, look, yeah, for sure. I'm always keen to chat about scams. I'm glad you think they're funny, AJ. I'm not sure. I was really enjoying doing them. But my kind of YouTube happiness bubble is, I don't think it's burst, but it's a little bit deflated. Hey, someone's written the word minge up here. Don't you love graffiti that makes you laugh? Like, if you're going to write on a railing, you might as well write minge. Can you see that, guys? That's my word for all of you YouTubers and subs who derail chats and talk about yourselves all the time. You're all minge. You've performed in much better place. You say some real times. Yeah, I agree, AJ. They're like, oh, excellent. Don't get a splinter on the rally. I won't. Mary Wanson, holy shit. How are you? Oh my God. I'm surprised you've even popped in to say hello to me. I still haven't sent you an email. My God. I've drafted it. I was chatting to Melmo the other night and I was like, fuck, I've got to finish that email and send it. But I've only just, as of midnight last night, put in 4 really intense job applications. Jesus Christ, getting a job these days is so different to back in the day where you'd be like, g'day, give me a job, and they'd be like, okay, it's yours. Fuck. I'm so glad you're still here. Are you on live chat, Melmo? It's gone, girl, gone, girl. Thank you, darling. I still love you too, Mary. I will hit the send button. I will send it as soon as I get home. I promise you. You'll understand when you get it. why it's taken this long. Well, no. From whatever night I was chatting to Mel and saying, fuck, I've got to send that email to Mary. So that's like, I don't know how many days ago that was, Mel. Say 2 so it doesn't sound bad, but it might be 4 or 5. Yeah, she has. I love it, but it's also making me very sad, Mary. We were just talking about Mary. Hey, Mary, tomorrow is the day the voluntary assisted dying bill gets tabled in Tassie. So please blow kisses in our general direction and hope that it gets through. There was a beautiful quote that I saw today that said, living in Tasmania is wonderful or beautiful. Let's make dying in Tasmania beautiful too, which I just loved. Sums it up perfectly. But yeah, Mary, kick me up the ass repeatedly. But I did get the job applications in. But fuck, you have to write like selection criteria. Ooh, I had to write a 5. They made me say it. They said it has to be a maximum of 5, but no less than 5. Like you had to do 5 pages of responses. I'm just going to put my sneakers on properly. I always put them on like scuffs, but I'm so glad Mary popped in. And she still loves me, despite me being I don't know what I am. Slack. I'm not a slack ass. I've made a lot of inquiries and stuff. You'll understand when you get it. I'm just so happy to see you. Oh, fuck, speaking of scammers, one of them just messaged me, hey, let's chat about the scammer, Mark. So, here you go, guys. I want to give you one more beautiful view of gorgeous Red Ochre Beach. I could have actually put someone up on panel because I'm on StreamYard from my phone. So Mark the scammer, he's the one where he wants me to send him money. I got a bank account from him today, and he, Noreen, my catfish character, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, I do scam baiting. You'll need to look at other videos on my channel to understand what that's all about. But I decided to sort of string him along a bit while I make a fake deposit slip from a bank with one account number out. So I asked him, I said, I actually want to get in writing that you're going to repay the loan. And he was so, I hope you were talking about the view, or do you mean even just walking up the path is... Hey, Tanny, do not put your new laptop anywhere near your stove. Repeat after me. Anyway, back to the scammer. So, in a nutshell, I want to get rid of him. He's actually really annoying, and he rang me today, and I didn't answer. But I get kind of grossed out when he rings because my fictitious character Noreen is a nurse, and she told him she was at work, and Noreen's a really good bird, even though she's made up. But if I was actually Noreen, or if it was me and I met this dude and he was calling me when I was at work, no message to say, are you on a break? Can I call you? I'd end the relationship with him. And so I've decided that now I've got the bank account detail, which really is so good. And I haven't just got the bank account. I've got the name. I've got an address, which I have Googled, and I'm not convinced it's it's a legitimate address, but if it's not, then it will flag that bank to go, okay, this is an account that's being used for, fraudulent money exchanges. So, yeah, I'm excited, Tanny, that I got it. But I'm actually going to end it with Mark now that I've got that info, because it really is the golden egg of scam baiting. Look what's gone in here. I'm really sad about this. They had to put in, for safety, they've had to put in proper pathways. Like, I do love that they've put in retaining walls and they've planted things, and around the corner there's the succulents that we're all watching. But when I first moved down here, like, my street was a dirt road and these paths were rickety little paths. They've had to upgrade them to meet sort of safety standards. And this beach is popular, and it's getting more popular. Someone's going to break a leg or whatever. And so, yeah. I mean, I still think they've done an okay-ish job. They've tried, like, there's some plants and stuff along here. There's Park Cafe where I went the other day. So, yeah, Mark, I'm thinking of ending it, guys, because the bank account and the address and the name is all really critical info. And I told him that I wanted to get something in writing that he was going to pay me back. And as usual, he found every reason under the sun. He's like, why are you asking me to do that? You know, I'm in a war zone. It's like, yep, here we go again. He accused me. I told him that my imaginary friend, I do actually have a friend, Gavin, who's a lawyer, but he told me that Gavin is controlling our relationship. He's just getting nasty. Anyone that's just walked in right now probably thinks I'm talking about a real life scenario. I'm not. I'm talking about a scam bait. I waste scammers' time. I'm just giving everyone an update on one of my scammers. You'll see other videos on my channel about it. Oh, they still tried to romance it. Was it like a text scam or something like that, Pookie T? Like it was a phone one? So good to see you, Mary. So good to see all of you, Pookie T, Tanny, Mel, Ruth, AJ, if she's still around, everyone that's dropped in. I'm scrolling back up. I love yous all. I love yous all. Yeah, it is time for Mark to go. And I always do this with scam. See, this is the little bit here where they've this part of the path went in last year, or maybe at the end of last summer. And there's pig face, which will eventually hopefully cover this whole. See, this it's spreading here. It does take off, and it's got the most beautiful flowers. In fact, the pig. Oh, here we go. Here's some. They're closing up for the night, Bobo. Here, but they open up like that. I've got pig face flowering at my place at the moment. I love it. Oh shit! Checks to cash and pay. Oh my god. Oh shit! I'm down to 15%. Good thing I'm nearly home. No, Pookie. Oh my god. Yeah, we definitely have to chat. So yeah, I will probably do one last soft skid Mark, but I'm going to block him. I tend to, those of you that watch my channel know that there comes a point where you just like, it's run its course. We did actually have some fun with this guy. He was actually quite a good scammer in terms of, there's a better one that you can have a look at. Pretty. And the little buds. They're like little rosebuds. You see that little one? Hey, Casper. You did, mate. We went round to a different beach too. We were over at Red Ochre. I'm down to 15% too, so if I suddenly disappear, I love you all. Stay groovy. Yeah. So I do pull the pin on scammers at some point, and this guy was entertaining, which is good, because if you're going to waste someone's time and go live for hours on end baiting scammers, at least he was entertaining. But he was also dangerous, more dangerous than most scammers, because he also had an element of likability about him. I love Pigface too. AJ, thank you so much for hanging out. That was gorgeous. All you're going to miss out now is listening to me puffing and panting and dragging my almost 54-year-old butt up the path. Yeah, it's great to have you, Ruth. It's okay, Casper. Thanks for coming on the beautiful Claire Bear. Where the fuck have you been? Hello. Thanks for coming with us, AJ. Casper, you need to rewind even back just for just to get a view of the beach we're at, because it's so different to the surf beach. It's just like the surf beach we were on the other day is right there in front of me, but then around that bend there's more beaches. Good to see you, Claire Bear. It's nice. Well, it's kind of embarrassing. You're all tuning in while I'm walking up a hill. Gee, it's 10 to 7. I've got to make some dinner. But yeah, just to check it out, because it's really pretty. There's the beach through there. I wish I could zoom in. Hey, Grover, I did try to go live direct from YouTube, and because I don't have 1,000 subs, not going to happen. And I noticed my other channel is going backwards. I'm losing a sub or two a day. So remember how excited I was when I got over 800? Yeah, it's fucked. So I'm sort of working out what I want to do. If I want to stick around on YouTube or just go, well, you know, I had a crack. How comes that car? I hope you guys got to see that car. Yeah, it's sort of being struck until the 4th of January. It's giving me time to think, but I'm actually thinking I might leave YouTube, at least as a creator, and just be a sub. All the stuff that's happening on YouTube at the moment, I realise that unless I want to go live and bitch about other YouTube creators and even subs, I'm not going to have much growth, which, you know, I don't want a massive channel, but when you're doing something like scam baiting and you're actually, I think, even in a tiny way, making the world a better place. And on my other channel with scam baiting, I was getting around the 30 to 40 people watching, and that really excited me because that's kind of the audience I wanted. Because even if half of those 40 people talk to other people about scammers and it stops an innocent person being scammed, like, it's all a numbers game. But when I go into a channel that's been live for 6 hours, just either playing the victim or just talking shit about someone else, and they've got 3, 4, 5, 800 people watching them, Imagine the change that would happen in the world if 800 people watched my scam baiting, you know? But there are scam baiters that I watch who've already got big established channels, and I kind of feel that supporting them and hanging out there and still scam baiting like I used to, just not going live and putting stuff up on my blog. Yeah, so take time and have a rest. Oh, I've kind of thought about it for a long time, Tanny. You know, it's not a new thought, and we've talked about it. Drama sells. Yeah, it does. Isn't it sad? Isn't it sad? I the thing that made me love YouTube was I found it such a refreshing change from watching television shows, whether it was thrillers or crime or drama, comedy. I actually loved that people were able to go live, and it had really only just happened on YouTube when I started being on YouTube. But I loved that people would go live and you could hang out with real people and watch real people doing everyday things and chatting while they were doing it. And I was like, I'd much rather do this than just sit and watch a TV. I love reading fiction, books. There's quite a few surfers out there. I moved off the track because there's a kid coming on a scooter. Yeah, there's a heap of surfers down there. Isn't this beautiful when summer's on its way? Look at that sky, guys. Um, Thanks, Peaky T. That's cute dog. I know, I feel bad. I said cute dog, but didn't acknowledge the kid. See, there's a cool mum. She's like, he's not cute. Um, Thanks, Jenny. Peaky. Yeah, my chats are civil and peaceful, and that's probably because I've said from the start, you know, I don't want people in here bagging other YouTube creators or who's up on my panel or subs in my chat. But I get stuff happening outside of that. Like it's like people have found a way to get around my rule. You know, if they contact me on Messenger, does that count? Or email me? Or Casper and I had a chat about it the other day. Like, it's kind of, yeah, they found a way to get around my own rule. So it's nice and civil for everyone in my chat. For the most part, it's not a perfect channel. I don't think you'll ever have one. There's a lot of big personalities roaming around YouTube, which is a good thing, I think. But it also means there's always going to be shit going on. 8% battery. Grab a surfer and love one of them. Ignore them. It's not that easy though, Pookie T. If I don't see it when I get off the live, I'll wake up to it, which is kind of worse, you know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's things you learn along the way that you definitely do differently, and I definitely would have not been so open to, yeah, join my Facebook page, and I wouldn't have done that. When we did breakfast radio, we were very hard to contact except through the station, like officially, so the station could filter through all the crap. But I didn't apply that experience with YouTube. I didn't think I needed to. I'm too trusting. Too nice. Mel and I have chatted a lot. Do nice people belong on YouTube? I don't think they do. I mean, I'm not saying they don't. They do belong on YouTube. Will they survive it though? No. My battery level is now 7%. Yeah, the behind the scenes shit is ridiculous. I love my chat, Mary. I'm really proud of it. I love all of you guys. I love I mean, I'm all for you guys having really passionate debates and disagreeing and stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love that everyone in my chat cares for each other, looks out, asks about each other, pops in, and everyone's like, hey, good to see you. Like with Claire Bear saying she's been really busy, and everyone's like, where have you been? And like, I love all of this sort of stuff. Um, but I'm also completely cool if you guys all wanted to have like full on discussions on a contentious subject. I would love my channel to be one of the few on YouTube that has that. It's a bit of a novelty, right? Imagine that, a channel where chat is actually openly discussing things and being nice and not calling each other fuckwits and nutting things out and listening to different opinions and perspectives. Wouldn't that be a novel idea? How much taxable income? You could even, oh, I was going to say, you might even be able to get that info on the ATO website, which is usually, their calculators are usually a lot more easy to navigate. Centrelink's like our Social Security department. That's probably the Australian, well, that's the Australian equivalent, American equivalent. Centrelink looks after unemployment benefits, disability, sickness benefits. At the moment with COVID, we've got this thing called JobKeeper for people whose hours have been cut or they've been laid off due to COVID. It's like your Department of Social Security. 6% battery. But yeah, I kind of sometimes, my screen's gone completely black. That's not a racist comment, anybody. For fuck's sake. Someone will be offended by that. You watch. I'm assuming you guys are all still with me. Thank you for coming for this walk. Now I'm going up the hill. It's been nice hanging out with everyone, and thank you for letting me vent. And yeah, I'm going to end it with Mark. We'll have a funeral at some point. And probably not tonight. Maybe tonight, actually. The sooner the better. And I'll keep thinking about YouTube. I mean, another idea is just to completely reinvent myself and have a... Hey, yeah, Casper, what happens if I don't shut it down? I can just see, shut it down, shut it down. I wonder what happens if my phone goes completely dead. I can't end it. If I chuck it on the charger, will I still be live? All right, I'm going to end it, guys. I can still see the end button. Thanks for hanging out. Love you heaps. Stay groovy. And hopefully we'll all see each other soon. And thank you so much for being, I think, one of the smartest and sweetest and kindest communities. And size doesn't matter, quality does on this occasion. And you tick all the boxes for that. Stay groovy, everyone. See you soon.